Since the beginning of this year, these major corporations have been laying off thousands of people while saying everything is fine, while buying up other corporations, trying to do everything they can. And it's come out over the last couple of months, and I've covered it a couple times, how they're all saying, oh, we're just spending too much money, how nobody's buying the games, nobody has money for games. But we're seeing things like Helldivers take off with a regular concurrent players of 300 and 500,000, but the major corporations can't seem to figure out how to get those players to play their games. And I've covered in several other videos about how games are upwards of, from these AAA titles, $100 on day one. If you include the DLC, they can be even higher. But we watched Microsoft buy out Blizzard Activision this year, and within 3 months, they're already talking about more layoffs and how they're not making money. So let's go into the article. Let's figure out what they're actually doing, how many people they're planning on laying off, and how bad this is for AAA gaming. But how it's an absolute win for us. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer admits recent Activision Blizzard layoffs were partially undertaken due to falling industry profits. Meanwhile, the gaming industry is still an $80 billion industry, with games getting pumped out daily by independent game developers. But Microsoft seems to have a problem. Despite having previously claimed that recent round of Activision Blizzard King layoffs were undertaken out of need to cut down on areas of overlap within the company, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer now says the job cuts were done in light of shrinking profit projections for the coming year. No, we weren't firing people because we're having financial difficulties. It's because we had, a couple of the same job. That's what we were told. But now they're coming to terms and accepting the fact that they're not making money. As previously reported on January 25th, pretty sure I did a video on that. Yeah, Blizzard, Xbox, ZeniMax, their whole games and movies and DVD production, stuff like that, was 1,900 jobs. But here's what he said. Looking ahead, we'll continue to invest in the areas that will grow our business and support our strategy of bringing more games to more players around the world. As part of this process, we have made the painful decision to reduce the size of our gaming workforce by approximately 1,900 roles out of the 22,000 people on the team. So that's nearly 20%. 20% of the staff just gone. Like 1 or 2%, it's like, okay, you're just doing some minor cuts. You get rid of some people that don't really need to be there. When you're talking 20% of a workforce, your business is struggling. And we're not talking about some indie dev that laid off 2 out of 10 people. We're talking thousands of people. And I'm hoping the companies are starting to see that it's this woke nonsense. They're overpriced games that are garbage. And getting rid of those people. I think they're too far beyond saving at this point, and we just have to watch them fail. But I as much as I black pill about everything, I still have little rays of hope, just little rays. Asked during a March 2024 interview with Polygon whether the need to reduce their headcount was due to an internal Microsoft problem or a representative of larger industry trend, Spencer asserted it's a little bit of both. Which is funny because Helldivers had to boost up their servers because they had 750,000 people trying to play the game at the same time. Those are Counter-Strike numbers. Counter-Strike. Let that sink in. But I'll say the thing that has me most concerned for the industry is the lack of growth, which is fun because non-AAA companies don't seem to have that problem. They seem to do just fine and make absolute bank. And when you have an industry that's projected to be smaller next year in terms of players and dollars, and you get a lot of publicly traded companies that are in the industry that have shown their investors growth, because why else does somebody own a share of someone's stock if it's not to grow? Not to make money. And you're not making money. They don't care if the company grows, they care if they're making money. The side of the business that then gets scrutinized is the cost side, because if you're not going to grow the revenue side, then the cost side becomes challenged. Like I said, they invested in the company, not because they believe in the company, but because they believe that you're going to print them money, and you're not doing it. You're not doing it because you're investing in this DEI nonsense. You're pandering to the smallest percentage of the population on the planet, hoping they'll buy your games, and absolutely taking a dump on the people who have supported you for decades. I've covered it, even Nintendo. Granted, it's the stateside Nintendo, it's not overseas, it's the Western countries, where lawyers are attacking the fans, trying to cancel them for not agreeing with the DEI woke transgender androgynous garbage that they're pushing out. They're literally attacking the biggest base of players and then asking, why are we losing money? Why aren't we making money? Because you're completely inept and retarded. But across the industry, you mention it, and in sitting here at the GDC, I reflect on friends of mine in the industry that have been displaced and lost their jobs, and how just I don't want this industry to be a place where people can't, with confidence, build a career. They're not your friends. You don't know them. You don't know who they are. They have an employee ID number somewhere that you've seen, or not even seen, glanced at when you were signing the paperwork to fire them. You don't care about a single person you've laid off. Don't give me that BS. You're too big of a corporation to care. So that's why I keep pivoting back to, how does the industry get back to growth? Quit pandering to the smallest percentage of people and make games for the average person, and quit attacking them. Quit force injecting woke nonsense down their throats. And when they say they don't like it, calling them bigots. If you stop doing that, you'll start printing money again. But to your question, for us as Xbox or any of the teams that are out there, it is really an outcome of an industry that's not growing. The industry is growing. The industry is growing. You know what? Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. We'll do this one, and then we'll do this one. Helldivers, released February 8th. Still, okay, so this is, at the time of this recording, it's noon. It's the middle of a day on Monday. Everybody's at work. Still has 200,000 people playing it. Peak last week was 500,000 people playing. And this is, technically it's an online game. It's co-op only. It's co-op. 4 people at a time. That's it. Not doing anything crazy. No crazy worlds. I mean, the graphics do look pretty damn good, but it's nothing crazy. It's just a good, fun game that has rejected both sides of the political arguments. It has rejected the woke ideology and has rejected anything that is politically right-wing. They've actively banned people for trying to push them to make content from one side or the other. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with them saying, get the hell out of here. This is our game. We're going to do what we want with it. They're obviously doing well. Now compare that to Justice League. Justice League, February 2nd, 6 days apart. 6 days apart. Everybody saw the game and thought it was absolutely terrible. 1,000 people playing on Steam. With a peak, all-time peak, 2 months ago at 13,000. One of those was a AAA game that pandered to DEI woke audiences. The other one was just a game targeted at people who wanted to have fun. No political agenda. But you're gonna say I'm the bad guy for pointing it out. So the industry is growing, just not your industry, not your publicly traded DEI woke nonsense. You're the problem. You are the problem. Maybe it shouldn't be 20% of your workforce that has been fired and laid off. Maybe it should be the entire one, and you should rebuild it from the ground up with people who don't buy into that garbage. People who will say, nah, we're not putting that in a game. And instead of saying, you have to, or they'll cry about it on Twitter. All, 500 of them with their 10 accounts. So it'll be a couple thousand people on Twitter complaining. Fuck off. No, they can go away. They can get out of there. Who cares? You made money when you didn't pander. You started pandering and you're losing money. The industry that you're saying is shrinking is only shrinking for you. But he goes on to say it can grow again and it will grow again. It'll grow without you. It's growing without you. But you can't come to terms with that. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this in the comments section. Like, am I missing something here where Helldivers 2 comes out and says we're not going to do anything political and tells everybody on each side to shut up and just play the game? Coming out with massive numbers. Well, a game that came out at the same time that pandered to woke ideology and hated the fans and actively trashed the fans can't even come close to the same numbers of players. Am I missing something, or did I pretty much sum it up? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. While you're there, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this one out. And until the next one, guys, be easy like sleazy.